So today we're going to be making biscuits and gravy. First, let's go over to Vegetation Station to make our coffee. So that's more important than anything else. It would help if I turned on the camera. There we go. Good morning, everyone. So we're going to do what we did yesterday and start off with our coffee. Yesterday we made a lovely French toast with an orange sauce, glaze, whatever you want to call it, syrup. Absolutely delicious. So we're going to grind our coffee like we did yesterday. Give it a few more little hits there. Perfect. Alright, also also put the kettle on. Our oven is already preheated because I live in a dorm and our ovens take approximately 5 years to preheat anything. So I had to start it at like 10:30 to get it to where it needed to be, which is 4:25. Hold on, I'm just cleaning out my coffee filter from yesterday, so I forgot to do that. Silly me. There you go. That's what I'm going to call good enough. So, we can put our coffee grounds in. Go, unplug that. Now we're just going to wait for the water to boil. Move all that aside and these lovely coffee grounds. So, yesterday, I said the stream was supposed to last for 2 hours. It didn't. It lasted all 45 minutes, but that's just because I'm so good of a cook that I can get things done faster than normal people. So today, we're going to make our own biscuits as well as the sawmill gravy, just to spend more time with everyone. I'm going to put my coffee stuff to the side for now. The kettle's going to take a hot second to heat up. That was an awful, awful joke. There we go. Okay. So, for our biscuit recipe, I'll post this somewhere, just like I'll post the French toast recipe. If you want to stop and pause the video now, if you could read my handwriting, that's the recipe I'm following, this one right here. So, it's going to be 250 grams of flour. Changing that over to our grams and zeroing it out. I'm also going to sift this. It's not a necessary step. A lot of people used to do this back in the olden days because their flour used to contain bugs in it. Ours doesn't, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to switch over to a bigger scoop to get to 250 faster. There you go. In the background, if you can hear it, the kettle is starting to groan and hiss. 218. What did I say? I said 250. 243. Oh, close. 248. I hate this part. Getting it exactly right. There we go. 250. Perfect. I'm going to leave the lid off of that because we're going to come back to that for not only flouring this and rolling it out, but also because we're going to use it for our gravy over there. So I'm just going to sift this real quick. Look, it's snowing. This Wednesday, we're doing kitchen time with the College Democrats on campus. So it's going to be me and Izzy again. We're doing French toast. I don't know if I'm going to do a duplicate recipe and just redo what I just did, or if I'm going to do something entirely new and different with the French toast. But that French toast custard recipe has not steered me wrong, so I'm not going to stray from it. It's also good just to get these little clumpies out. There you go. Perfect. That's our 250 grams of flour. I'm not sure if I'm going to need this again, so we're going to move it over there, off camera. I made a bit of a mess, but that's okay. I'm going to be the one cleaning it, so I'm not mad at myself. All right. So now we're going to do a tablespoon of baking powder, sugar, salt, and salt. Let's see if I remember where I put it. There it is. Going to grab tablespoons of everything, tablespoon of our sugar. I was a little worried this morning that I didn't have baking powder, because I do the same thing with cumin and coriander. I think I always I always have one but not the other. When I go to the store, I get cumin all the time and never coriander. Okay, our coffee, good, nice and boiling. So I'm going to move this out of the way for 1 second so we can do some coffee. I'm going to wait for it to not be boiling because that'll extract some nasty, nasty flavors. Just move that around until we reach the metal band up top. I couldn't tell you how much this is going to be, but it's going to be enough for one of these Golden Girl cups of coffee, which is how I measure my coffee. There we go. Put that back on its little pedestal thing. Cool. And I'm going to let this sit for 2 minutes. I already added the sugar, so I have to add the salt and the baking powder. This recipe is really easy because it's a tablespoon of all the actual things that we need. I've never actually made this recipe, but then again, I've never made most of the recipes I try on this channel or on Kitchen Time. All of the recipes I've made there have been, except for 2, were all just like, oh, I want to make that. Some of them work, some of them don't. That French toast really worked. I really surprised myself. That's why my reaction on camera was delayed a bit, because I was like, oh boy, this is actually really good. Okay. Alright, tablespoon of baking powder. Baking powder is different than baking soda. I couldn't tell you why, I think. Well, one has the other one in it. I think baking powder also has baking soda in it. And baking soda is just baking soda. Alright, we're going to add some ingredients, taking away some ingredients. There we go. Okay. French press our coffee. Go. Put on our filter to catch all the grains that this filter didn't. Okay. I'm very lucky that this just kind of sits on top and doesn't move. I do have smaller mugs, but they don't hit the spot. And also, I mean, I would have to actually manage this a lot better, be more careful with it. Coffee ASMR. For anyone watching, we're trying to get to I am trying to get to 50 followers so I can make a Twitch affiliate, so I can get those cool little badges, and I can also get subscribers. But I really just want to design badges for this channel, so tell your friends. There we go. Put the spent coffee grounds back over there somewhere. And then we're going to move this off to the side so we can get to our biscuit making. Okay. I missed one very important step in the recipe. I didn't include when to add the milk. So here, I have the recipe up. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I pull most of these recipes from online, and then I just add things as I go. This recipe is by from a website called Sugar Spun Bakery. I will also post that link to that recipe down below. And then I added some things and took out some things. So I have to grate the butter. I don't have a grater, so we're going to see how that's going to work. I put my butter in the freezer because I knew it kind of had to stay up on its own and not melt into the actual biscuits. So, how are we going to do this? I have some ideas. I think we're going to do it this way. And, yeah. So, we're going to use mandolin, just do little butter pats. I'm putting on my cut-resistant glove because it's cut-resistant. And I don't love the mandolin cover. Especially with something like this, I mean, you're not gonna work out well. I'm gonna try to peel this all back without getting butter on this glove. Actually, you want your tray anyway, so I could do it, but I don't really want to wash this glove. This is 3 settings. This is a 0, 1, 2, and 3, so I guess that's 4. 0 just doesn't cut anything as I'm aware, so we're gonna do a 3. I think that's good. You could do this over the bowl. I'm just going to do it this way. Oh yeah, that's working a treat, maybe, kind of. I'm not really sure. We'll see. Oh yeah, that's kind of working. Yeah, that's kind of doing it. Just a little. Oh, hold on. Focus up, camera. Wow. Okay. Here, I'll put it on my hand so it's easier to see. There we go. See the little thin little butter pats. Oh, I guess the gloves make it go crazy. All right, cool. We're just gonna put these in there, and then I'll. So the recipe says to kind of crumble the butter in, so it's like little pebbles. Well, that's what we're gonna attempt to do. I just know we're not supposed to have it melt in there. So I actually have latex gloves because my hands run hot. I was actually just wearing a sweatshirt and I had to change before this started because I was already sweating and I haven't even moved. So 6 tablespoons of butter is what we're trying to go for. Since I left the wrapper on, I know right about there, that last, there we go, okay. That last line there is going to be 2 tablespoons, so right where my thumb is, we're going to cut to there. So I'm actually going to kind of fold it onto there so I know that's the general stopping point. I'm just kind of moving this so it's not on the diagonal when it's getting cut. This is also providing some insulation. As you can see, it's not really melting yet. Okay, I'm going to call that. That's going to be our 6 tablespoons. Oh boy. There we go. All right. Our little butter monster thing is set. So we're just going to peel it off. I'm going to put on the gloves because I can already feel it melting in my hands. As you can see, it's all already nice and buttery. Throw on some gloves. If you really wanted to go the extra mile, you could do like a bowl of ice water right next to you and dip your hands in it and then go back and forth. I'm not that worried about it. That also seems like a lot of effort just to make some biscuits. So we're going to try to get it into a pebbly consistency. Okay. Coffee's done. See all those lovely, lovely grounds in there that would have been in our coffee if we didn't strain it. There we go. Putting that over there so we don't have to deal with it. A little butter pat situation. I'm going to have to clean this. I hate cleaning stuff. It was the biggest thing I saw and biggest lie that culinary programs taught me was that they could just use all these bowls and like just not change anything. No, people had to clean that. Especially at home, it's usually me who has to clean it because I'm the one who makes those messes. I love Goode. That is my favorite cooking show. That's why I don't know if these are exactly good jokes, but all the titles of these episodes are puns or references. As you can see, our little butterball here has become a literal butterball. So we're just going to take a knife. I'm going to use this a little overkill, and I'm just going to chop it into bits. Boy, I'm hungry today. I have no idea why. Like 9 o'clock, I was like, oh, I really should eat. But then I was like, no, I'm making enough food. This is actually going to be my breakfast tomorrow as well. I'm very excited about that. Okay. I'm trying to not melt the butter into this, just break it up within the flour. There we go. Okay. The flour is going to give us some insulation, I guess would be the word. We're just going to really break it up and also mix while we're doing this to create pebbles. I know I keep saying that. That's because I don't really know what that means. I know what it looks like as a picture, so that's what I'm going to kind of look for. That's how I cook. That's how I started cooking, at least, was grilling. And I would just like, oh, that's what a burger looks like when it's cooked. Okay, let me just replicate that. So I have, and no one's really noticed the difference. All right, we're just working that into the flour. I'm also trying to rub this in between my hands to really get it finer. Also because my fingertips are really, really hot, so I'm just kind of spreading it out and trying not to use my fingertips as much. Now I'm just kind of going over and seeing like what paths I can still see and just breaking it up. Okay, I'm going to take off one glove just so I could measure stuff out. These are bigger pebbles, but I think that's good enough for what we're doing here today. So, 177 grams of milk. I just have a little glass here. Grams and milliliters are the same thing. Oh, I'm doing it just off camera, which is great. I can kind of see it. There's my scale. There we go. Okay, zeroed it out. I'm going for 177. Let's hope this glass can fit it. That's the problem. I switched over to metric, but I have no idea what everything's supposed to look like. This comedian Eliza Schlesinger does a joke where she went to Italy and they only had steak in grams as weight. And she was like, oh, well, I know a gram of cocaine is that much, so let's do an 8-ball of steak for the table. And that's how I feel every time I do a recipe or switch over a recipe to metric. I have no idea. Okay. We're at 180, so we're going to take a quick sip. I wouldn't be okay with that, except I'm the only one here. I'm the only one that's going to eat this. So, all right, we're going to use, they say wooden spoon. I already have this gloved hand. So we're going to just kind of make that little well and just add a little bit and mix it together. This also, well, you'll see in a second, there's this phenomenon called club hand, which is when you fry things, you dip in egg wash and then you dip it in the breading. I'm just gonna work that in there. I'm just going to do it a little bit at a time so it's just easier to incorporate, because we do have to actually knead this. So I'm just making sure everyone gets a little bit of moisture and kind of sticks together. Looking to make 6 biscuits out of this. Problem is I don't have a biscuit cutter either, so I'm going to make square biscuits or hexagonal biscuits, some version of biscuits that are not round but are geometric instead. Okay, here we go. This is kind of pulling my glove off my hand. So these are actually only supposed to bake for 12 minutes. So in that time we can make gravy. Yeah, delicious. Okay, so we're gonna move this off to the side, put our cap back on the milk just in case anything goes horribly wrong. There we go. Move that glass, glove. I'm just gonna keep this on my side here because my hand's kind of stuck in it. This is where moving that butter, moving everything off of this table really is gonna be much more successful. So we're gonna take our little scooper here and do a bit of flour. There's some water on here, but I'm not gonna worry about it. There we go. Okay, cool. We got most of it off our gloves. So we're gonna go back in here and take out the bits because we don't want to waste any of this. We're gonna knead it until it's nice and it comes together. We're waiting for it to come together. I'm gonna move this over into the sink. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna knead primarily with one hand. So in case I need more flour, I can just kind of scoop as I go. Yeah, I think this is actually coming together. I was really worried. I'm an excellent bread maker, as in I follow one recipe and that recipe has never failed me once. So it's the one I follow. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more flour. There we go. Don't want too much. I just really want this to come together into a nice little dough. And then I'll roll it out here. There we go. Okay. It just took off the pieces from my glove and kind of worked it back in there. So the goal is just kind of make layers with the butter. So we're going to fold it this way, and then kind of knead it out, and then fold it this way. We're trying to create like a lamination between the dough and the butter to make those flaky biscuits. So folding it like a little pamphlet, moving it to the side. There we go. And I'm gonna roll this out as well. Okay. I'm gonna do one more fold and then we could roll it out. I actually have a rolling pin. On Kitchen Time, I actually used a piece of PVC pipe that I had for my green screen that I have laying around. So we're just going to flour up our rolling pin so it doesn't stick it doesn't stick to it a lot. So we're going to roll it out here. You can kind of see some pockets of butter, which is what we're going for. I'm going to move this, and we can roll it out the other way. Trying to get 6. I'm trying to imagine what 6 is going to look like. I'm trying to keep this square in shape because I want biscuits in geometric patterns, not amoeba patterns. There we go. Okay, I think that's good enough. We'll square this up and make a little Franken biscuit out of the remainders. So, you can use a knife, or you could use a bench scraper, a lovely tool that I own. We're going to use the bench scraper just because we're going to square off the dough. This will all be a part of our little Franken biscuit that we have. You know, I think we're going to make more than 6 biscuits, which I'm really okay with. So, taking those off, then taking those off. Trying to keep the least amount off as possible. So, split right down the middle. The motorcycles are out. Spring has begun. So we're gonna do that size biscuit. Those look about even. Then we're gonna have just slightly bigger ones at the bottom here. If you wanted to do an egg wash, you totally could. I'm not going to because these are going to end up for sausage and for a sawmill gravy. So, not exactly worried about that. I'm going to move these guys over. I know some people do like a little thumbprint in the middle just so they rise evenly. Let's do a little experiment here. I'm going to do my thumbprint on these 3 on this side. We'll see which ones rise unevenly. So, actually, before I do that, I'm going to grab some parchment paper from my cabinet so that we can put those on the cookie sheet that I have over here. There we go. I just have parchment paper. Oh boy. Well, we'll fix that with, there we go, heavy biscuits here. I'm going to try to get them to touch so when they rise, they have someone to like kind of lean on as they rise. If they end up being pull apart biscuits, they end up being pull apart biscuits. What are you going to do? Then I'm going to make room. Okay. Put that back there. Oh, they look lovely. I'm going to move my knife over out of the way so I'm not endangered by it. This I'm just kind of holding it on itself so I know that it has, it's not going to delaminate itself. There we go. Oh, see, I didn't flour my rolling pin, now it's sticking. There we go. Moving everything down. Okay. There we go. All right. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I mean, this, you can kind of go on and on until you're done. You're like out of scraps. It's a good boy. All right. Oh boy, I lost you there for a second. That's because this lovely camera has the dumbest feature of cameras, and that's after 30 minutes, it turns off for, I have no idea why, and it's one of the more annoying things about the camera. Alright, I was just off camera pushing the biscuits together so that we can fit this last one. I mean, you don't really have to use this big old rolling pin for it. Silly made in flour. After this, I'll throw away this. Oh boy, it's knocked over my salt and shaker and all that. There's my rolling pin. We're just going to clean this one up, and then I'll send it off. Okay, this one's going to be... Okay, that's not that bad. I thought it was going to be a lot smaller. Oh, it is compared to everyone else. Well, what are you going to do? These scraps, I mean, you can make the teeniest, tiniest of biscuits. I'm not going to worry about it. Cool. So I'll see you back over on the other side while we'll pop those in. Hi. Okay. So we have our oven set to 425. We didn't put buttermilk or anything on there. I don't really want to for biscuits and gravy. These should be cooked in about 12 minutes, and we're going to let our wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous assistant take care of the timing for us. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes.
12 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. Always thank your electronics, because when the day comes and they take over the world, they'll remember your kindness. Okay, so we're going to do the sausage. I had to think for a second. We're going to do the sausage gravy. So you guys are going to see the inside of the cabinet for 1 second. Wasn't that fun? So I have a pound of sausage here. The same sausage from yesterday. Because I figured, why not? And we're going to go really unhealthy with this. We're going to do half and half. Again, the half and half from yesterday. We're going to put this on 6 on my stove, about medium, like 1 notch above medium. Here, and I'll give you guys first-hand look at my, here, move you guys close. There you go, okay. Just trying to fix you guys so you get to see the stuff. Because you know what I look like. Ooh. That was just the metal pan warping, because those are very cheap. They're from Walmart. So we're just going to let this brown. I'm going to bump up the heat to 7, because we just need this to brown and give us some fat, and then we'll add it back in. Okay. I'm just moving a lot of stuff into the sink. So, don't mind me. Watch the sausage for me, will ya? That was an awful joke. I'll just wipe off the rolling pin, that's fine. This is the only bad part about making anything like bread or biscuits. It takes so much flour and your station ends up getting so messy. So what I'm doing, I just scraped off a bunch of flour. And then we'll put our board there. Actually. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. I have my recipe in the same book as biscuits. Hopefully, if I planned it right, if I'm a genius. The sausage gravy will be done same exact time as the biscuits are coming out of the oven. That's the hope. That's the goal of today. I'm just wiping off the board. Okay, there we go. There's that. Okay. So we're looking to kind of break this up. because we want the smaller bits, really mouth-sized bites. And plus this will cook quicker than the longer links. Yeah, all I did for this sausage was I took it out of its casing. You could totally buy like the regular sausage that doesn't have casing. I just had this already, so I figured why not do another breakfast stream and make this recipe. This sawmill gravy recipe, I believe, comes from Alton Brown. You know, my favorite person, my favorite chef. There we go. All right, now we're sizzling. Now we're cooking. There we go. So we're starting to get some color here. And once this is nice and good and browned, we'll drain some of it, make sure we save some of the fat. If we don't have enough fat, well, I'll just add some butter. My coffee. Can't believe I forgot all about that. So I'm going to use some half and half. There we go. Cool. Have my coffee. Nice that I don't have to wash. So we're actually only going to reserve 2 tablespoons of this sausage fat. And then we're going to do equal parts of flour to make the roux, and then we'll add the milk, and then boom, season it with the gravy. My only problem with sawmill gravy is that all the flavor comes from the sausage. So if you don't have really good sausage, like I don't, this is Jimmy Dean or something, not the most flavorful thing in the world. So we're going to augment it, the recipe a little bit, by adding some more flavorful things. We're going to add one of these, which is chili and adobo sauce. It's not going to be pretty and white sawmill gravy, but it's going to taste a hell of a lot better than any normal sawmill gravy. So we're going to do that. Maybe add some hot sauce, or maybe save that till the end for my taste. I say that like there are other people here. This is just me. So I'm going to add some hot sauce, because this is my taste alone. There we go. We're getting some wonderful color. I'm just watching to make sure there aren't any pink. And once there's no visible pink left, drain it, and then move on to the rest of the steps. Speaking of that, you don't have a way to drain this. I ran out of paper towels this weekend, and I just didn't order them. Because I didn't realize until I was starting last night's stream, or yesterday morning stream, that we didn't have any. So, I'll figure it out. I think I'm going to do something a little unnecessary. While I'm here, I'm going to grab a plate for myself. So when we plate, there we go. So when we plate it up, it'll be all pretty like. And this is yet another moment where I can plug my Instagram and Twitter. At Rhododendrons on both. I like to stay consistent. And also, that's where you can see the photos I take during the show. Because that's where the French toast photos are. Alright, now that I hear some popping and some fizzling, we're going to turn down back to just plain medium. There we go. So, how am I going to drain this, you might ask? I don't know if you are, but I'm going to assume. We're going to use our thing that we already used, our flour bowl, and our flour sifter, and the bowl underneath. Boom. It's going to stay here, that's going to drain to the bottom. That's my idea for right now. They don't have any paper towels, which is a weird thing to not have. I didn't think I needed it until I did. Okay. There we go. I think that's good, so I'm going to start evacuating the sausage. Trying not to scoop all the fat. The good thing is, with this wonderful new method that I've thought of, all of it can just drain to the bottom. We'll add it back into this pan. Let's do that. There we go. I love this recipe. I love sausage and sawmill gravy and gravy and biscuits. Sorry, biscuits and gravy. I love biscuits and gravy. However, when I went to Tennessee with my high school choir, yes, I'm that cool. I went to a choir competition. I did get to see Dollywood, so that was fun. But they all had like actual Southern things because Tennessee is the South. So I had sawmill biscuits and gravy there. Oh my God, it is so good, but also it just sits in your stomach like concrete. And I understand why people in the South move so slowly. It's because they're all weighed down by the biscuits and gravy. Because it mixes together to, I don't know, some magical paste that weighs you down. There we go. Alright, we drained from the fat. We're going to pour that back in. That's just a little bit of flour that we had there. 2 tablespoons of flour. Yeah. 1 and 2. So I'm going to cook this for a few seconds. Well, a minute. Because it's going to taste really, raw flour tastes awful. So I'm going to cook out some of the raw flour taste. And then I'll add our stuff and our seasonings and our spices and whatnot. Grab and whisk. I have 2 whisks. I have my metal whisk and then I have this whisk made by the same people who make this pan. I was worried, oh man, this isn't going to be enough. That. So let's add, oh, Alexa, stop. Wow, I was very wrong. But that's good because we can let the biscuits cool a little. So I'm going to add, I just added the 2 tablespoons of butter, and this will make it into a paste more. There we go. See, it's already happening. Luckily, the pan's not super hot, so it's not like immediately melting. So kind of using the butter to pick up whatever flour granules I haven't gotten with the whisk yet. And here, once this butter's melted, actually I'll check it on now. Won't hurt. We'll see. Gloves, because hot things are hot. I love reaching for things with my bare hand, only to immediately realize, no, they could go for a little bit more. They need some color. I'm going to actually turn them and let them keep going. So we have this lovely roux that we have going on, and forget how much the recipe calls for. 400 and something. Right, I was right. 480. So we're going to do majority half and half. Let's see if I can. 480. What is that? 240. So let's do half and half of the half and half. So 2 Okay, 240 in half and half. We're going to turn this down to low because we don't need to cook anything more. We're going to stir this so that we don't get any lumps. And we're also kind of stirring up the bottom bits, the fond as it's called, which has some delightful flavor. So this is also going to, the flour is going to help in thicken it. You could do this with cornstarch, potato starch, whatever starch. Traditionally, this is just made out of flour and a liquid. You know what? I have enough. Let's do another 240 of the half and half. Okay, cool. So I have that. We're going to pour that in. And then we're also going to add our sausage. Let them all get to know each other. And then season with our seasonings. So I'll use a whisk. I don't mind. Go easy on the salt because I know this sausage is very salty. So I'm going to do that. Move our plate out of the way over on our vegetation station. Throw the butter wrapper away. You know what? I lied. We're not going to do the adobo, a chili and adobo. We're going to do some pepper, and I'll hit it with some hot sauce. Wow. Can't believe I forgot the word for that. Red or green? I'm just going to do a traditional red hot sauce. I have 2 hot sauces. These are my absolute favorites. And my Cholula hot sauces. So I have the original one, and then I have a green one, which is made out of poblanos and jalapenos. They're good for different things. I just enjoy, if I just want some spice, I'll just use some Cholula hot sauce. I never know if I say that right. There we go. We're going to let this thicken up. I'm going to check the biscuits in a hot second. I'll also taste this just to adjust the seasoning. How? You know, I think these are good. Beautiful, gorgeous. They're lacking a little bit in color, but it's all right. So I remember these were the ones that had the thumbprint in them. I can't tell the gosh dang difference. So it was a fun little experiment, wasn't it, class? Pop them in the back here. Hot pan because they don't have any room at the moment. I just looked at the time and I realized that I said the stream was supposed to take 2 hours. And I even challenged myself to make biscuits from scratch. It's 11:49. This stream is going to take an hour. I can't believe this. Okay, there we go. Nice. Thicken it up. This is going to be absolutely delicious. Let me taste for seasoning. Again, I'm by myself, so it doesn't really matter. Well, it's all to my taste. It could use a little more salt. I can't believe I'm saying that. All right. Go some salt. One more. There we go. That. Some Lula. There we go. There we go. I also like that's slightly pink now. I just like the color of that. Okay. Okay, so while that just kind of, we're going to turn that on simmer. We're going to move over to our lovely biscuits. This is my coffee back here. Perfect. So yeah, as you can see, we kind of had this one get the most color and then kind of lose its color as it goes down. So, what can we do? Well, I mean, not what can we do. Which one are we going to plate up? I think I'm going to do two. So I'm just putting on a oven mitt because I know these are going to be hot. So I think I'm going to do you. I'm going to pick this one as well. Let's nice rise. Go. I'm going to take just some plain knife. Don't really need it. Oh, these look beautiful. Look, you can still see some of the pockets of the butter left. So, plate that up. I love plating. Well, I'm not good at it, but I do love plating. And for this, it's not about pretty, because sausage and biscuits, wow, I keep saying the wrong thing. Biscuits and gravy are not supposed to be pretty and gorgeous. They're supposed to be absolutely delicious, which I know for a fact these are going to be. So here, let's move our other biscuits. Not that they're not beautiful. I mean, this one. Look at how cute, it's so tiny. I'm going to take this parchment and toss it. There we go. Now it's awaiting our sausage gravy. Sawmill gravy. There we go. Okay. Thickened up beautifully. As it cools, it's going to thicken up more. So I would probably pull this a little bit sooner, but I'll take it. We're just going to let this kind of... Like I said, sawmill gravy, biscuits gravy, as just a general dish. You're not supposed to be about the prettiest. It's supposed to be about the best tasting. That is not, that's not a great, I'll say it. Presentation-wise, not the prettiest. That happens. Not everything is going to be the prettiest in the world. That French toast, quite a looker. You know what? This isn't, and that's okay. So here, I'm moving our face camera back to its original position, so we can taste it together. Grab a fork. Boom. Hi, welcome back to my face. So we have our lovely biscuits and gravy. Let's give it a taste. I can't believe this episode was only an hour. I tried really hard to do longer than an hour because I have that freedom to do so on here, and doesn't happen. So. This is delicious. This is so good. Ooh, it's a little spicy. This is absolutely perfect. A+. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. I showed my notes at the beginning of the episode. You can't read chicken scratch. Or if you want it written down, I will share the recipes that I took from. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I think the next episode... I don't know when the next episode is, but next time you'll see me on this channel is going to be for kitchen time with me and Izzy on Wednesdays at 8.